Okay, so here we're going to be looking at the player class. So the player class has a big constructor, but the only two values that we get to give it at the very start are the x and the y, where the player starts. The rest are already predetermined with pre-programmed variables. If we want to change the color of the player, we have to do it for all players. Okay? It has 5 functions to start off with. Okay? The first function is display. This is pretty much the same as the draw function for the block, but instead it's got some extra logic here for checking if we're grounded, if we're in the air. It's handling the floor collisions and all that kind of stuff. Okay, I'm not going to go into detail on that. Suffice it to say, this gets run every single time the draw function does. That's what this does here. Okay. We have the movement function. This is quite simple, okay? This here should probably actually be... Oh, actually it doesn't matter. This here is just a bunch of if statements. It's going to check whether you're going left, right, or whether you're jumping. How do we know that information? Well, if we have a look at the draw function, we can see that if the A key is down, that's what 65 means, we're going to call player.movement left. And then in here, direction is going to be left. Okay? And so this is going to end up being left when we're running the program, right? Left equal left. Cool. We're going to reduce x by whatever speed. Now, this speed is set up here. At the moment, it's 5. We could make it 20. That would be a terrible idea, but we're going to do it anyway. So if we do that, and I'm going to have to fix this because I made a mess. Let's hit play. Oh my lord. I'm very quick left and right. Up, down, still not really that quick. And that's because jumping is handled by something different. Jump level. Jump takes parameter jump level. Now, where do we call jump? Well, let's go check. Here we go. If player is jumping. So, wait. Player is jumping. How do we know the player is jumping? Well, we've got player movement here. Jump for W. I press W, I jump. Okay, cool. So let's go player movement. Where is player movement? Here we go. This is movement. Jump. So it checks if we're grounded. This is just a variable. Okay. When we hit the ground, the collision stuff will set this to true. Okay. So if the direction is jump and we're on the ground, then we're going to set is jumping to true, which means we're telling the computer we're jumping. So when this gets run, this jump in the draw function down here, we start doing this stuff here. I'm not going to go into detail about what we're doing. Essentially, we're moving it up. Okay? These two, quite complex. Not really going to explain them, except to say that they are what check whether we're on the block or whether we're on... I figured out why this is so laggy. Because I'm printing to the console. There we go. That's much better. When I land on a block or on the ground, ooh, these functions check. Okay, we're going to have to turn that movement speed down. These functions check whether we are on the ground, on a block, all that kind of stuff, and they handle all of the is jumping, grounded, and stuff like that. And they also stop us from running into the sides of the blocks and all that kind of stuff. Just take that as a given. You could look at them if you'd like. I'm just not going to explain them. And so that's how the player runs. I mean, here we have to loop over the block array. We have to check every block to check if we're colliding with it. But this is just kind of a given. You don't really need to worry about it. Okay? I'm going to quickly go over the camera and how I'm getting it to follow the player in the next video.